For Western sanctions on Russia, what's happening?
Yes, indeed, Laura. Hi there, everyone. Stocks in Russia and in Western Europe, for that matter, have been trading higher this Tuesday. This even as US President Barack Obama warned Russia that it could be facing wider sanctions if it moves further into Ukrainian territory. Obama was speaking at a nuclear summit in The Hague. It follows last week's move by the United States and the European Union to freeze the assets and issue visa bans for dozens of Russian officials. But investors say those measures have so far had little effect, and markets don't seem to think that the sanctions will get much tougher. We're going to take a look at those latest market figures in a moment. First, though, there are signs at the same time of growing concerns among European companies. They'll pay a price for the Ukraine crisis. Business morale in Germany dropped this month, according to the think tank IFO. Its closely watched monthly confidence index dropped from 111.3 in February to 110.7 in March. Now, it seems, though, that investors aren't too worried about those lower than expected confidence levels in Germany, nor about the prospect of further sanctions against Russia. In the United States, American shares have just snapped a two-session losing streak, and they have closed above the flat line. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by around about 0.5% at the close. This, as a measure of U.S. consumer confidence, came in at a 6-year high. That outweighed a lower reading of new U.S. home sales in February. Now, the lower business confidence figure in Germany, as I said, didn't weigh much on the DAX in Frankfurt. It actually ended up by 1.6%. European shares overall snapped back after a drop on Monday. Look at the MI6 in Moscow as well. It was up more than 2%. As, once again, investors, they don't really seem to be thinking that Western nations will go ahead with more sanctions against Russia, at least not at this stage. Changing gears now, unmanned aerial vehicles known as drones have been used by the military for quite some time now, but they're also starting to change the way that we do business. From delivering packings to taking photos of houses up for sale, it's an industry experts anticipate will explode. But the question is if aviation regulators can keep up. Jennifer Lush has more.
Drone technology is taking off, and not just on the battlefield. Amazon and UPS recently announced their interest in using the unmanned aircraft to deliver packages. Now everyone from farmers to real estate agents are jumping on the bandwagon.
We've just started using it in the last couple of months, so we've done a handful of properties. We've used it for some commercial sites as well. We can do very interesting things with properties whose stories are harder to tell.
Drones, which range in cost from $2,000 to $16,000, are equipped with infrared cameras, sensors and other features controlled by a pilot on the ground. For this developer, the economic incentives are clear, as are the environmental.
This method of transportation will be the lowest cost, the one requiring the lowest infrastructure investment. It's going to be the greener in terms of CO2 emissions and energy consumed.
The biggest hurdle to commercial drone technology, however, is likely to be governments scrambling to keep up. As things stand, there is little regulation on just how drones might share the skies with other manned aircraft. Until those rules are written, much is open to interpretation.
We have to do something sooner than later. If not, the industry will create itself. And if the industry creates itself, then trying to regulate it after the fact is going to be 100 times harder.
The industry is indeed pushing forward whether or not the rule writers can keep up. Drone prototypes are being developed in a slew of countries, from Canada and Australia to Japan and Brazil.
Let's talk you through a few other stories that we're following for you. There are high hopes here in France and among French companies as China's president has kicked off the French leg of his European tour. Xi Jinping arrived earlier in the French city of Lyon during the 3-day French visit. He's expected to attend a ceremony to formalize ties between the French and Chinese car makers Peugeot Citroën and Dongfeng. It's also expected a deal will be unveiled that'll see China buy 150 passenger planes from Airbus. Meanwhile, in South Africa, platinum producers there say a 2-month strike has brought irreparable damage to their businesses. Companies like Anglo American, Impala Platinum and Lonmin say the strike has cost them nearly $1 billion in lost revenue. Tens of thousands of mine workers downed tools at the end of January, demanding their minimum wage be doubled. And Disney is buying the YouTube channel operator Maker Studios. The purchase gives Disney ownership of 55,000 YouTube channels, with one title being Epic Rap Battles of History. The media and entertainment giant is paying $500 million. It's seen as a bet to stay relevant among a younger audience that's increasingly watching short videos online. Okay, that is it for now. I'll be back again in around about an hour's time with more business headlines. Back to you now, Laura.
Thanks very much, Marcus. And we're going to take a short break. We're going to leave you with all the best of the internet over the past 24 hours. It's time for Web News.